Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Screw friends who are trying to do business talking music together. Recent
Yep.
doubleheader, March to April,
Yeah.
side A.
Yeah. I had to last Sunday was packing up and had to check out early on Monday morning, so we figured, yeah, probably best to just do a double. Although I am feeling a bit disturbed this week since I've gotten down with the sickness, but I'll try to get through I'll try to get through this anyway. Ugh. So yeah, the convention. SoccerCon 2024. It's, before that, mostly normal stuff, packing and all that. Took the train up. It was a nice trip. Legs didn't get too cramped, thankfully. Yeah, we got to Seattle. It was raining. Had to walk to International District. Stopped off at the Wajimaya food court. Got lunch. Actually, some decent food there. And yeah, took the light rail over to uh I forget exactly what stop it was. It was like 3 stops away. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah. But yeah, checked in. Got like check-in was at 4 and we got there right on time. So we chilled for a bit. Then took the light rail up one stop to go eat a bag of Dick's. Dick's, of course, being like a cheap cheeseburger place. And when I say cheap, I mean like a plain a plain cheeseburger is like $3. And then yeah, Thursday checked out Pike Place Market and checked out this nice little Indian restaurant called Spice King. It was really good. Plan on doing like a special review episode on the food places I went to. So that'll be a whole thing, once I'm feeling better. Ugh. Yeah, and then yeah, also picked up a badge on Thursday. Then Friday, let's see now. Friday, first panel I went to. Didn't actually make it to it because the online schedule was kind of iffy about the map. The booklet they gave you wasn't really a booklet, it was more of like an 8-page fold out with some of the back pages being like a poster of the mascot. And while it did have a map, it was basically, hey, in this building you got this, and that somewhere in there, and in this building, that, and this somewhere in there. So, not really helpful. Also, the thing didn't have any schedule listings or anything. Just like the mascots, the guests of honor, not much else. Basically useless. I did eventually discover the app they were using, but yeah, I missed out on the first panel I was wanted to go to. But yeah, we checked out some other panels and hold on. Yeah, checked out some other panels and went to the Dough Zone for dinner. Nice, kind of Asian place. Got pork buns and stuff. I think they have a location in Portland somewhere. I need to double check. Oh, and for lunches, I did actually make a stop at Target. there's a Target a few blocks down. Picked up some tortillas, deli meat, and some Velveeta cheese slices. So I just packed myself some quarter full old tortilla sandwiches for lunches, to save money. Because, yeah, it's downtown Seattle. That food there is pricey. Like, you have one fast food option, and that's McDonald's. And, yeah, from what I've heard, just the general area was kind of sketchy. Oh, yeah, speaking of sketchiness, yeah, apparently SakuraCon is perfectly fine with AI art. In fact, one of the people I was with, she looked it up, and from what she can tell, it looks like the mascots were AI generated. Also, apparently they're not doing, according to the subreddit, they're not doing the mascot contest anymore because they basically they commissioned a mascot for the convention. So that's it. That's the mascot now, I guess. But yeah, like the panels itself were enjoyable, like mostly. There were a few that were kind of like like the what was it? The Your Waifu is Trash panel. It was honestly kind of meh. And I tried going to the Sailor Moon sing along panel, but the volume was so loud I had to leave because my ears were hurting. But yeah, I did pick up a few souvenirs from the convention. I got this nice Evolution button-up shirt and a Eevee plush. Other than that, I didn't really buy much because it was a combination of, okay, not buying the art because I don't know what's going to be AI generated. The regular merchandise, like, keep in mind I have to take the train back, so I'm limited on how much I can actually pack. And C, Seattle's expensive. Like, I swear I spent, I feel like I spent like $300 just on food alone. So yeah, kind of underspent as far as convention spending goes, but yeah. The convention was alright, but it seems like a lot of people are kind of just disappointed with how the convention has gone as of late. And yeah, I probably won't go again just because. I mean, okay, so I got like 5 nights at the Camlin for like 80 something bucks because my aunt has like a timeshare thing going on. But I also spent a lot more money on food, so honestly, it all evens out. And like the price for the convention itself has gone up in the recent years, and I wanted it to be good so I can have like, oh yeah, March/April or what spring break or Easter weekend or whatever the timing is, like anime convention that doesn't share a month or adjacent month with another convention I go to. But yeah, seems that just wasn't in the cards. Thankfully, Tomoricon and Oricon are like separated by a couple of weeks, so there's that at least. Uh, so yeah, to sum it up, panels are alright. Convention itself kind of meh. Like, and you know how conventions typically have like some convention themed flair, decoration, something that really shows out. Like, hey, we're in town. This is our deal. Welcome. They didn't really have any of that. It was just all kinds of plain, which also really goes against the general feel of it, you know? Yeah. So yeah, something something Sunday. I'll talk about that tomorrow because technically that is this week that we're supposed to be covering tomorrow. Although TLDR, not much really happened. I went to like one, maybe two panels, and that was it. Also, I do have a episode review thing for the post news segment. Ended up watching Delicious in Dungeon episode 1. Like I said, assuming I remember I was supposed to talk about that, I'll talk about that after the news segment. But yeah, as for YouTube uploads, yeah, given that I'm sick, uh, yeah, third week of roguelikes, huzzah! Yeah, it's like, actually, I need to check something. Like, I have like 3 or 4 Scarlet videos and 1 Green video, and it's like, what was the last episode pattern I did? Was it Green Scarlet Green or Scarlet Green Scarlet? Because like I am trying to have these in kind of an order. Da, 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 da. Okay, it was Green Scarlet Green. Actually, theoretically, I could have episodes for this week, but honestly, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'll let the third week of roguelikes play out. That way, I just have a bit better of a buffer. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, we did hit up Cheesecake Factory one day. Okay, sort of. Uh, Me and my cousin hit up this what's it called? You know those poke bowls or whatever, however you pronounce it. Me and my cousin went to one of those places. It's actually pretty good, fairly cheap. But his wife wasn't really in the mood for that, so she ended. Well, she was gonna go to this one other place, but they were closed that night, so she ended up getting Cheesecake Factory instead. So, long story short, we all got cheesecake that night. Actually, it was pretty good. Expensive, but okay. A, it's Cheesecake Factory. B, it's Seattle. C, it's Cheesecake Factory in Seattle. I'm not sure if that actually makes any difference, but I imagine that possibly their prices might be slightly higher than normal. Yeah. So that was the convention week. It was alright. Like, I'm not okay. I'm not sure if I got sick from the convention or sick from the other two because I was fine up until Wednesday, whereas they were sick around the time we got back. So it's possible I may have caught whatever they got from them. I don't know, but yeah, if I end up cutting off at any point, it's just because I kind of need to clear the throat and everything, and don't want to do that on microphone, you know. Anyway, how was your previous week?
Want the center action as well as a bit of catching up. I still have a bit of that to do, but at the time, I managed to get the offset series done with. I will detail the results of both later.
Okay.
Now that I had proper settings done on Twitch, I was able to get an actual stream and the VOD post done over Good Friday. Might squeeze in something on Monday once I'm finished with some business. Just get this week's sheet done despite the news breaking out later, as well as ladies' mid afternoon between mom and my sister-in-law. Didn't end up squeezing anything else afterwards. Just dinner all together. Things are getting a bit better in the cheese sandwich department. But yeah, last week in March seemed mostly a new normal. I'm not sure exactly what will happen to future Twitch streaming as time goes on, but it's never to pray now. And hopefully we'll be able to, and hopefully I'll be able to show sister-in-law. One of the stage performances my sister was in, as well as I I assisted in costuming for. Also, Glenn didn't have to explain, or at least elaborate a little bit more in terms of the policy adjustments that came out earlier today.
Yep.
Because many times once could have felt like you get a mix up, but thankfully.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah. Anyway.
Sounds like my arrangements are fully understood.
Yeah, it's like with the noodle thing, it makes sense. Although, admittedly, my reading comprehension at first was kind of like, wait, what? But I eventually understood it. But yeah, it makes sense and all that. So yeah, still no ponies. Like, yeah, that's just I don't know. Like, oh yeah, startup season 2. Get like 7 episodes in. It's like, yeah, we're done for now. Like, yeah, it's just it is what it is. We'll get back to that when they, you know, get back to that. But in the meantime, we're continuing on with Owl House. Yep, episode 16 of season 1. Enchanting what was it? Enchanting Grom Fright? Uh, something like that. Yeah, it's your classic school prom episode. Except we got some dancing, but the Grom itself is actually a creature of nightmares. Shows you your greatest fear. Basically, and yeah, the Grom Queen has to face it, otherwise it'll escape and doom everyone to facing their worst fears. So basically, combination of the Boggart from Harry Potter with the Tantabus from My Little Pony. At least that's the vibes I was getting from it. But yeah. So Amity is chosen as Grom Queen. It's like, but she has a very embarrassing fear that she would rather not have people see. So Luz is like, I can do this. I'm fearless. Oh God, spider. Yeah. Also, episode deals with Luz like, okay, so apparently they're using the door portal to get Wi-Fi, which okay, question. Assuming the door portal leads back to that one place, are we sure they'd be able to get Wi-Fi from there? Although possibly using the mobile data, that could be it. I'll go with that. Yeah. Anyway, King's watching YouTube videos on the phone, particularly cat videos. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Luz gets a text back from her mom. It's like, hey, how are things going? And yeah, Luz is like, okay, how do I respond to this? So yeah, Luz takes over Amity's place as Grom Queen, faces the Grom, and like, okay, fine, using a mace along with an ice wall glyph, not bad, pretty effective, but then it takes the form of, well, okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Point is, yeah, Luz isn't ready for this. Also, Ida's there as chaperone, and it's like, okay, sure, dressing up nice, actually allowed in the school, sure. And like, okay, time to play as time to assist. But yeah, Amity's not out of the show yet, and together, Amity and Luz do a nice to battle the Grom, and end up defeating it. And honestly, if their dancing involved more ballet, I wouldn't be surprised. I would like, yeah, if their dancing involved more ballet, I'd be like, oh hey, look, it's sick. Check it out. Oh yeah, the Grom outfits. Lou's rocking a suit with the yeah, it's kind of getting like suit with tutu vibe with what she was going on with. Like weird, but I mean it works for her. But yeah, and turns out Amity's worst fear was being rejected by the person she wanted to ask to the Grom. But like, oh, that's fine. Lucy's like, oh, don't worry. You, you can go. You can go with me. What are friends for? God, if the strippers weren't going crazy already, they are now. Yeah, everything's all good, except for the one student. I assume student they have acting as like the light that's kind of hanging from the ceiling, and they forgot to let down, and yeah, he might be there for a while. Yeah, very good episode. Get more interaction between Luz and Amity. we see Abby slightly interacting with Willow. It's like, oh, hey, Willow. Like, okay, it's still not there yet, but work in progress. Oh, right, the weapon selection. There is a Buster Sword, like huge, unwieldy blade with two circular sockets near the hilt. Like that was straight up the Buster blade, the Buster Sword. I mean, Buster blade. No, that's Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's see now. Taking a look at the weapons. Let me go to further back in the episode. Okay. Yeah, I got the Buster Sword, an axe, two-handed sword, uh, a mace, oh, sorry. Luz had a flail, which is basically just a mace on a chain. There's a club. That's either a scythe or a sickle, a sword and shield, just plain shield. Bit, yeah, not much on the long range weaponry side of things, but oh well, that's fine. Possibly might not have worked very well against it anyway. But yeah, very enjoyable episode. And yeah, with this, only wait, that's 17, 18, 3 episodes remain of season one. Which reminds me, I should probably get around to start recording the season 2 episodes because I'm running out of time. That's fine. Like this week, the schedule ends up like that. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, enjoyable episode. Great character interactions. Decent action. And yeah,
I'd say there's volunteering was something along the lines of relations starting to mend.
yeah.
I can remember seeing myself as a complete distaste, as in this case, but for the most part, remember my
Yeah.
level faces it from my old school. Surprisingly, still remembering me.
Also, slight update on possible schedule stuff and pony stuff. Yeah, apparently there was actually a Thursday, so yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, I remember like hearing word about that at some point, just browsing Reddit, but I kind of forgot about it. It's like just looking through EQD. It's like, oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? So I'm sure we'll slot it in somewhere.
Alex, Prehistoric Club. It's an S word, but what's that tool that the Green Reaper usually holds?
Something like that. Uh, okay, yeah, I have a better view now. That's definitely a scythe.
Hmm.
Yeah. Although admittedly, personal preference, scythe seems like it'd be a bit unwieldy. If I was to use like a proper polearm type, I'd probably go with like a glaive. But that's just me.
So maybe I can remember moments and solitaire there, even after my departure, as well as during my limited later years.
Yep.
Also, King ends up in a bit of a similar situation, although
Hmm?
admittedly, life in Prostana can be a little tricky to execute.
Yeah.
Initially, a bit of a MD turning on each other, a la classic. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sith Hall dance fit could also be considered a less questionable version of the dancing comic sequence of Cat Neo.
Mm-hmm.
Because this time around there's a bit more. Because this time around they establish certain power ethics for the yes, it started going hand in hand.
Yep.
Very good to see that concept getting a bit more exposure. Or usage.
Yeah.
Which is exactly suited for a consent. I'm fairly hearing that could be on behalf of in video game terms, final boss.
Yep.
Let's see, the first wasn't hold too much of a shadow this time around.
Right.
Fun reference with some aliens. Physical interiors on points, while also being the confines of the show itself. But yeah, if anything, it's gonna get interesting because we're just gonna have the mystery elements have heightened a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Ready then. So, getting into some news. Um, Mind you, this is news from the previous week, so you may already know some of this stuff already by now. Anyway, let's see now. Yeah, apparently the Final Fantasy XIV director Yoshi P has been teasing some Final Fantasy IX remake rumors, or are fueling the rumors. Although I think it was basically said that like it's not going to be as like all out as the seven remake has been. It'll be a bit. It would probably be a bit more. Yeah, just not as over. Not as overkill as the seven remake has been. I mean, let's face it, the Final Fantasy VII remake isn't actually a remake. It's a alternate continuity version of it. Basically, a rebuild of Evangelion version of the original Final Fantasy VII. It has sprinkles of the old, but then swerves off into a brand new continuity. Apparently, there's going to be some pastel pink Joy-Cons for Princess Peach Showtime. So, that's cool, I guess. Oh, I guess Crunchyroll began streaming that time I got reincarnated as a slime season 3. Both the Sasaki and Peeps anime and the Tale of Wedding Rings anime are both getting a second season each. The Luna plush from Symbiote Studios are getting some revisions.
Marvel What If, I think, is what you're looking.
Huzzah!
Marvel What
Sonic the Hedgehog, What?
Marvel What If, I think, is what you were looking for.
Marvel What If?
With the
What?
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh. No, the Evangelion comparison was pretty spot on. Like the first of the rebuild films was basically like, oh yeah, like up to episode 7 or so. And the second film starts off similar but slightly different, and then by the ending it swerves all the way off center and branches off into its own new thing, which is what happened at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because like the rebuild films, it looks like Final Fantasy VII Remake also has little teasers of like, oh, seems like some of the characters actually kind of have a clue as to what what happened last time around.
Just saying, the moment of swerve feels like a what if episode or what if comic.
That's fair. Everyone has their own experience with that sort of thing. So, IHOP's getting a Sonic the Hedgehog collab. Huzzah! Ooh. Apparently, the final season of Red vs. Blue will be released as a feature-length movie, releasing on May 7th. Film of season 2 will premiere on Max in 1 month, give or take, I guess. Since, yeah. Yeah, no thank you. Beyond the Spider-Verse was initially meant to release this week. The film is now delayed indefinitely. Courtney Cox is in talks to return for Scream 7. Oppenheimer has finally been released in Japan 8 months after the film's launch. Kirsten Dunst says the iconic kiss in Spider-Man was miserable to film. Quote, "It was pouring with rain, freezing. Toby couldn't breathe, so it was almost like I was resuscitating him." That sounds about right. Invincible Season 2 makes a meta joke about the animation process. Quote, "Fight scenes take a while, but we cut corners in other places to make it manageable. I've noticed when whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you don't see them lips moving. I mean, hey, that's fair." The first concept art for the How to Train Your Dragon Land in Universal's new Park Epic Universe. Attractions include Fire Drill Boat Battle Ride, Hiccup and Toothless Meet and Greet, Dragon Racer's Roller Coaster, and Hiccup Swing Gliders Roller Coaster. Ooh. Kimiko Clan, Liv Hewson, and Dan Stevens have all been cast in Among Us as Cyan, Black, and Blue, respectively. Star Trek 4 is still happening and will be the final chapter for the 2009 reboot cast. Steve Yaki is writing the script.
You're checking for the works from Don Mancini. And the question is continuation, reboot, Hamill, or Doors, or someone different.
Yeah. The next Pirates of the Caribbean movie will officially be a reboot. I mean, that's fair. They had like, what, 5 films? It's time for a fresh start, really. Scarlett Johansson is now officially in talks to lead Gareth Edwards' Jurassic World movie.
The Batman 2 begins filming a year from now. Casting news is expected to happen in the fall.
Colin Farrell says The Penguin is a really twisted 8 hours of television. Quote, it's incredibly violent. It's one man's rise to what he always dreamed of inhabiting. Power. Liam Neeson says he's too effing old to play Qui-Gon in live action ever again. Ernie Hudson says after 60 years of acting, he's still a working actor or from job to job. Quote, I haven't been so successful like some friends who can barely walk down the street or made so much money that they can't count it. Oof. Yeah. Paul Rudd says he has no idea if another Ant-Man film will ever happen. Quote, I don't know, that's not for me to answer. You'll have to go to Kevin Feige. Marvel Zombies will be a pretty intensive TVMA animated series. Quote, what's so great about the comics was it not pulling its punches. That's certainly what we're going for.
Got a first look at Tales of Shire. Give out Cozy Hobbit Life. Trailer to release soon.
Yep. Got a first look at Marvel Rivals, a free-to-play 6v6 team-based PvP hero shooter, coming soon to Steam and Epic Games Store. And Your Lowenthal returns to voice Spider-Man in said game. Paramount has seemingly written off Big Nate and the Rugrats reboot, both shows have been removed from Paramount Plus and their existence has been completely wiped from the Nickelodeon website. Legendary Fandango and Regal are teaming up to give a fan 10 free movie tickets, drinks, and popcorn as a reward for watching Dune 2 over 20 times. He is also getting a surprise package. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has officially wrapped filming. The film releases in theaters on December 20th. Anne Hathaway says she didn't get any roles after winning an Oscar because studios were worried about, quote, how toxic my identity had become online. I had an angel in Christopher Nolan who did not care about that and gave me one of the most beautiful roles I've had. Spider-Man 4 is looking to begin filming in September or October. Justin Lin is one of the names in the mix to direct the film. new bonus episode of Quiet on Set will release on April 7th on ID and Max, titled Breaking the Silence, and features new interviews with Drake Bell, Giovanni E. Samuels, Brian Hearn, Shane Lyons, and more to discuss the industry then and now. And I'll be back shortly. Just need to. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Byron clinches first, of course. Win of the year. Win Mustang top 10. Best run side by side in top 5. Top 5 on the side by sides. Best run digging within the top 8 of Nitrocracy.
Okay, I'm back. All things considered, like the previous week was kind of generally light on news. Then again, I think we've run out of awards shows for a while, so maybe might be back down to like normal news levels for a while.
Some weird reason the Nickelodeon Kids Choice is happening a little later, but get there when we get there.
Huh.
Warner Japan sets to produce over 10 anime titles per year.
Mm-hmm.
Here from Renegade Games for start of the season's summer. New Just Play figures found on Five Below.
Cool.
Pacific Coast Railway 2 returns from makeover at the Norgrove shops. Anchorage Atwood Foundation awarded a special grant. To engage funds for services of a seaboat specialist for 557. '70s locomotive unearthed in Canada. Blue Peter Ferned loaded test runs. Sexton is kind of a remake of Ultimate British Tragedy. And a Renera for Pirates Steam on the Drago of Silverton. The Great Britain Railroad use. So theory of 119 Paul Taylor at 7 Relay Spring Diesel Fest. GBG Railfest planned for July. There's a Wayo Cooksler planned featuring Glenbrook Vintage Steam Train Experience. And her condolences of the priest who got her friends family of. Carl Jensen, members of the student program manager, no relation to Richard. Wisconsin Jr. First one to win the supporting actor Oscar. Joe Lieberman, 2010 nominee vice president. Marcel Ladd, 9902 Christmas Circle. Winner Partaker. Nancy Valverde. LGBT activist. Paula Weinstein, Lucian's Back in Action. Possibly related to the Weinstein Company. And the other being herself, Linda Bean.
Right. So, like I mentioned earlier, I watched the first episode of Delicious in Dungeon, available now on Netflix. Yeah, so imagine this. You're a knight, and with your party you're facing off against this fierce red dragon. But oh no, you're hungry, and while you're doing your internal monologue about how hungry you are, your party gets wiped, and your sister's about to be eaten by the said dragon. Now, before she can be swallowed, she teleports you and the rest of your group out of the dungeon. But oh no, you left all your stuff there, except what you literally just had on hand, so your armor and weapons and stuff. Also, since you don't have any money anymore, uh, yeah, some of your other party members have left to join another group. So what do? Do you sell all your gear, buy cheaper stuff, and start over? Uh, maybe, but that risks not being well geared enough to actually get back to your stuff. Have some of the party member or sell their stuff so you can go and solo with your full gear? Eh, maybe, but you'd be going solo, and also your other party members that are still sticking around want to come too. So how do we deal with this? So food's the major issue. So, the monsters in the dungeon can survive somehow. They have to eat something, which means there's stuff there to eat. Solution: eat the monsters. Now, mind you, not every monster is edible. Some of them are poisonous, some of them eat people, so you really don't want stuff that eat people. That's just not good. But like those walking mushroom people that you may have seen around in Dark Souls 1, or I guess a scorpion, but like you could remove the poison bits, like that's fine.
I was tempted to make a lot of Minecraft references, but the one that seems to come to mind now is Rom Wotan from Zombies, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, so you got your group. You got the knight who's like a monster fanatic, uh, wants to know all there is about monsters, including how they taste. You got the mage who's very picky about what she wants to eat, because like, oh, that comes from a carnivorous plant. What if it's eating people? Oh, that that's a scorpion. That's poisonous. Like, don't eat that. And then you got the thief who's okay, maybe not the thief, but like he's good at opening doors and stuff. He okay. To be honest, not much I've gotten from him yet, but we'll see. And then they're joined by this dwarf, who apparently, yeah, he's like an expert monster chef. Like he knows ins and outs of how to prepare monsters as food. So he joins their party. And not sure if it's this way for every episode, but there's like two halves, each one featuring a certain meal made from monsters and various things from around the dungeon. One of them was like a scorpion hot pot, and the other one was like a tart made from various fruits uh, around carnivorous plants and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's interesting. Like they go in their ways like, oh, you're being attacked by this plant that's protecting the fruit. Don't use magic on the plant because that'll affect the nearby area, which will affect the fruit. But there's so many of these plants, therefore you take it out by cutting them off by the root. So it's like you got strategy in there as well, and just the various ways of preparing the different parts of the monsters, and yeah, very interesting cooking show. But yeah, probably they have time to kill it because yeah, the red dragon digests things very slowly. So yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine. It only took them like 14 volumes of the light novel, I believe.
I have to say it. Very slowly, flesh-eating scarif beetles.
Ooh,
I had to.
yeah. Interesting show. Might check out more of it. They're actually releasing on a weekly release schedule on Netflix, so it's not like one of those shows where it's like, oh yeah, here's all these episodes in one batch kind of deals. Hopefully, if they end up doing JoJo Part 7 Steel Ball Run, they do a similar thing, as opposed to like just like the full partial drop that they did last time. with Stone Ocean. Because if anything, it just makes the wait for the next portion of episodes more bearable. Yeah, yeah, it's an alright show. I did end up watching it in Japanese with subtitles, but well, that was the default option. So yeah.
On my watch of a classical, I can realize a bit more and more that the symbolism of the Easter Phoenix is a bit more relevant. Easter Phoenix is surprisingly spot on relevant.
Uh-huh.
If anyone's familiar with the life cycle, of course. also ran into an old friend shortly after I finished a first part of a quarterly project. But unfortunately, I think he's mysteriously vanished again. Just like old times. For apologies. Question: did you travel with the storage plugs, and how many prongs are they?
Sorry, what was that again?
Did you travel with the storage plugs, and how many prongs are they?
Prongs. I don't know. Sorry, just a little out of it right now.
Well, out of suggestion, I suggest you try and find a
Yeah.
transfer plug where if there's a two prong, uh, you can plug the 3 into the female side,
Oh, right.
as well as the other way around if that other part's the case.
Yeah. Okay.
I found a lot of the extension cords that we have are two female, so
Yeah. If I go anywhere, I always pack the power tower. That way, I have enough regular plugs and USB plugs for whatever I may need.
My search for seconds of free prongs and a lot of the extension cords end in 2, so I've had to find adapters.
That's yeah.
Don't think anything so far has surfaced in terms of our travel places, but still.
Yeah, like the place I was at was actually a really nice place. It was actually across the street from the summit building of the convention center, so that was nice. Yeah, I was on the. I took the fold-out bed, while the other two took the bedroom. But that worked out fine with me. I was next to the. I was sleeping next to the bathroom. Ha.
Ah, so they were in the newer building this year.
Oh yeah, well, it was in both buildings. Some of the panels and the vendor hall was in the summit building. Then other panels in the artist's alley and like the main event stuff, I believe, was in the arch building. And then other panels were in arch building second half. If you want to get technical, it was technically like 3 buildings.
Since when Comic Con was happening, I found out very quickly that more of the Comic Con stuff was in the summit, whereas the arch. A few panels did happen, but. And there were some artists, but. And vendors, but that was also where the guests were. So. And thankfully,
Yeah.
with the hotel I was staying at, I didn't have to walk too far this time around.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get the place. Hopefully, I can get the place I was in back when they started doing conventions again, because that's the best I can think of. That doesn't give me too much of a walk in between. Either building, depending on how they lay it out for next year. I think I'll try and make that reservation a little bit quicker. idea about my colleague personally, but not really sure about my colleague at this moment, but hopefully tomorrow we can finally get started with
Right.
how our process should go, unless there's a bit of snag. I don't think it'll be too much fun this time around, but nonetheless, I have a bit of an interesting theme for this time around.
Okay.
A friend of mine who is also into that will join us at some point, but hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
Until which, stay safe, stay well, get nice, get pray, and hopefully we will see you